TV trash. I think we in the online community have firmly revealed that Hollywood has no originality, if you hadn't known that already. But it really shows when they try and franchise things whose creator clearly didn't mean for them to be. Let's get this out of the way. John Hughes was a brilliant screenwriter and director of his time who made some of the best family-themed comedy movies in the late 80s and early 90s. But the thing is, almost all of his stories were one-shot deals, not meant to have sequels and other follow-ups made of them. So when hack studio execs say they want 6 movies and a TV season of something like Home Alone, well, I've said enough about that already. That's not to say all of the adaptations of Hughes' films were bad. I actually found the Weird Science TV show to be better than the original movie. But even before that, we got the Uncle Buck TV series, which was so bad it didn't even last 2 months in its first time slot and was canceled with 6 episodes never airing. But we're not here to talk about that disaster. Or the attempt to remake it in 2016 with a minority cast. No. We're here to talk about the other John Hughes movie that got inexplicably made into a TV show that same year. Ferris Bueller.
Bueller.
You all remember Ferris Bueller, right? Where Matthew Broderick played that lovable scamp who just wanted a day away from the dregs of school life, but upon further introspection was a total sociopath who took advantage of way too many people. Well, 4 years after Ferris Bueller's Day Off premiered, Paramount decided to branch it out into a TV series that premiered in August of 1990. Just 1 month before the Uncle Buck series did. Oh yes, and both shows pretty much had no involvement from John Hughes whatsoever. So you just know it's gonna be top-notch, right? Yeah, let's get into the Ferris Bueller TV series and see how long it takes before we need a day off. The pilot episode begins with the title character savaging the movie responsible for this show's existence.
No way. He's too white bread. This is television. This is real.
Don't tell him. He might crack.
I'm guessing the main reason they did this whole little meta teaser was to justify all the changes they made from the movie. Like how now all the characters are in Los Angeles instead of Chicago. Yeah, right, moving your characters to SoCal to try to get more exposure. Like anyone would try that. They also took a page out of the Tabitha playbook and flip-flopped the ages of Ferris and his sister Jeannie, so now he's the younger one. And yeah, does this girl now playing Ferris's sister look familiar?
Why must you always criticize me?
Because I'm your mother, darling. Bill, help me out here.
It's a stage she's going through.
Well, at least Jennifer Aniston is getting practice at playing a spoiled, whiny daddy's girl. I'm guessing the age flip was to try and make Jeannie seem even more like a jerk by making her the elitist high school senior, not wanting to be seen around her younger brother. Not that it works that well.
When we're at school, pretend we are not related.
Okay.
Good. Keep a low profile.
The lowest. See you around campus.
And if riding a limo to school isn't enough, despite being an underclassman, Ferris has the ability to hack into the school's computers to change classes, put in calls to food service to change the cafeteria menu, and even make counterfeit parking stickers. Crap at heaven, he was just a sociopath in the movie. Here he's a full-fledged crime lord.
Hey, by the way, I'm Ferris Bueller. And you are?
Now my favorite character in the show. But of course, his magnetic personality wins over this girl, so they both bail out on school, stealing his sister's car in the process. Wow, they pretty much ripped off the main plot of the movie and put in half of the effort. Who could have imagined they'd do that? Well, there is one slight difference. When the principal catches Ferris in the act this time, he clearly doesn't have his sister to bail him out, so what can he do? It turns out he has a lawyer on retainer who gets his punishment bargained down to detention, that he skips out on anyway using a crash test dummy as a decoy. Oh, and his sister gets arrested for driving the car she reported stolen, and Ferris basically forces his parents to cash in their IRA to bail her out. Isn't he just a good boy? So yeah, what can we say about this series? Well, to start off with, it reeks of our old friend, no likable characters. It's as if these writers knew how much of a dickweed Ferris was in the movie and tried to compensate for it by making his antagonists, like the sister and the principal, even bigger douchebags.
I wouldn't vote for you if I was on fire and you were Aquaman.
Ferris says free expression is our right.
I'm warning you, Ferris Bueller disciples. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
The problem, of course, is they don't do anything to make Ferris any more likable. It's like here they merged him with Zach Morris and tossed out anything that might have made either character charming to the viewers.
I put myself in every one of Sloane's classes.
Ferris, if she has any plans to graduate, she will not give you the time of day.
One.
Let's party!
She wants the transfer to Performing Arts High. We have no dance classes at our school. You didn't see that. That was not a selfish act.
And yes, a Saved by the Bell comparison is more accurate than you'd think because the rest of the show is pretty much a Saved by the Bell knockoff. In the second episode, since Ferris can't run for student president, he gets this gang biker character to run and gives him a whole makeover. Like some cross between My Fair Lady and Napoleon Dynamite. Yes, I know Napoleon Dynamite was 14 years later. Throw me a bone, guys!
Well, it's very 50s of you, Bill.
People were happy in the 50s, Barb.
Are you saying that you're not happy?
You get the feeling by starting with these scenes in the house, we're leaving a much more entertaining show than the one we're actually about to see.
Did I tell you that I ran into Reverend Jameson at the mall? He told me to pass on a blessing for the way you raised your children.
Oh, Bill.
I'm sorry, honey.
I want to say Ferris is now trying to use that talent to get customers to supersize their value meal, but the more likely scenario is he grew up to be a talent agent and is now worth millions.
New Dean of Students today, Ferris. Former Marine Drill Sergeant. Hates disrespect.
Have I told you I'm a bitch? I'm a total bitch. Please like my brother more because I'm a total bitch? Seriously, these writers are desperate to make you believe Jeannie is the worst of these siblings. Right down to when she orders their entire house fumigated just to keep Ferris from having Cameron's birthday party there. So naturally, Ferris moves the party to Principal Rooney's house. This episode was the real inspiration for Project X, wasn't it? And yet they make Jeannie so much of a butt monkey you'd think Seth MacFarlane was riding her. She's always getting locked out of their house or getting demerits and detention from the principal despite, you know, them being on the same side against Ferris. Meanwhile, Ferris himself, well, let's just go over the list again. This kid can charm the pants off of any girl, has friends in high places that do all sorts of favors for him, and he can basically get away with murder. Why are we supposed to like him again? Heck, about the only flaw I can see he has comes in this scene where he takes Cameron to see the spruce goose. And that's only because he doesn't get the plane to magically start flying around the world. Yep, at least Yogi Bear can beat you in that area, Ferris. Oh, and in that same episode, he tries to boost Cameron's self-esteem by pimping out his sister to him. Charming. The irony is just thicker than a Dairy Queen blizzard that the writers thought the best stories would take place in the school when the movie was all about, you know, Ferris skipping out on school. Probably the dumbest episode of all was the Halloween one, which ended up airing in December. It looks like a ripoff of the Happy Days episode where Fonzie finds an old car that turns out to be haunted. Only here, instead of it all being a dream, it turns out the car was sabotaged by the principal so that Ferris would sell him the car. So rather than go to the cops, Ferris has the same mechanic screw it up even further before he does sell it to Rooney.
I better go cash this.
And then the episode ends with this whole gag around face masks and disguises. I really don't get it. Yeah, not even airing alongside The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air could save this show from abysmal reviews and plummeting ratings as it went on. It didn't help matters that Parker Lewis Can't Lose debuted on Fox at the same time and pulled off this whole concept much better in the eyes of viewers. Parker Lewis ran for 3 years, while this thing got put on hiatus in December before airing the last episode that got made in August the following year, as if it was a last-second attempt to salvage another season. It did not work. And good riddance to bad rubbish, because Ferris Bueller the TV series deserved to get expelled from the airwaves. It's just amazing how this thing managed to make almost all the characters even more unlikable than in the movie, and the stories even more boring. It's another one of those shows where network executives clearly thought that putting a TV series around a lovable, troublemaking teenager was just the type of thing that kiddies love to watch. But of all those types of shows that just grind my gears, this might be the one that puts the absolute least effort into anything. It's just a sad example of how even back in the 90s there was almost no creativity in entertainment. Maybe we can all hope that things will improve in television in that department. Or maybe we'll just wait for Infinity War and be thankful for whatever we get that's good. See you next time on TV Trash!